everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Katie, and today we are going to be doing some recommendations for the Christian Fiction Readathon. If you don't know about the readathon happening next month in May, all month, I didn't know if I wanted to do a week or a month, but I feel like a month is enough time to where if people do want to finish all the books in 1 week, they can. Or if they want to spread it out and read throughout the month, you're more than welcome to as well. So this video is all about recommendations for each of the 5 prompts that are happening next month. If you don't know about the Christian Fiction Readathon, I will link the announcement video down in the description box so you can check it out for yourselves. So without further ado, I have my list of prompts and books that I wanted to talk about today. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first prompt was flowers on the cover. And for this one, I even had a hard time finding books that would fit this. Because, yeah, I don't read a lot of books with flowers on the cover. I look through a lot of the books that I've read in the past. I'm like, there are no flowers on this cover or this cover. So I have recommendations that I have not read and some that I have read. So a little mixture of both for this prompt, but if you're having a hard time finding books, then this video is for you. Or if you just can't decide, then I'm here. Okay, so the first book I want to talk about is, there it is. Okay, so this is a book that I have not read, but I'm thinking about using it for this prompt. And that is Tacos for Two by Betsy St. Amant. So I've been wanting to read this since I got it. I have not read it. I feel sad because I have not read it, but there are gorgeous orange and teal flowers throughout this cover. It is a stunning cover, but this is all about a food truck. It's got romance in it, a prize money that could help her financially as a competition with a food truck festival with this guy. And so, yeah, it sounds like a good time. I'm excited for it. So I think this probably will be a book that I will hopefully get to. And then the next one that I'm going to talk about is Under the Tulip Tree by Michelle Shockley. And that one is our buddy read. So you can absolutely combine any of the prompts. If you could find a book that fits all the prompts, then go ahead and do that. I'm more than happy to just let you go and have fun with that. Editing Katie here, forgetting that as she was editing, she didn't tell you what this book was actually about, and she didn't have it with her upstairs, so. So this one is about 16-year-old Lorena, whose dreams of a rich and fulfilling life as a writer are dashed when the stock market crashes in 1929. 7 years into the Great Depression, Rena's banker father has retreated into the bottle. Her sister is married to a lazy charlatan and gambler, and Rena is an unemployed newspaper reporter. Eager for any writing job, Rena accepts a position interviewing former slaves for the Federal Writers Project. There she meets Frankie Washington, a 101-year-old woman whose honest yet tragic past captivates Rena. So as Frankie recounts her life as a slave, Rena is horrified to learn of all the older woman has endured, especially because Rena's ancestors owned slaves. So it sounded good. I remember reading the synopsis when I was picking a book out for this month. I just couldn't remember what it was about for some reason. So now you know. Now I know. And it still sounds really good, so I'm excited to get to it. If you'd like to buddy read this with me, I believe I picked this book on purpose, or one of the ones that I was wanting to choose. I picked this one because it is available if you have Kindle Unlimited. It is available on Kindle Unlimited. So you can get it that way, or if you can find it on Libby or your library, then do it that way. Now back to the original video. So this one, Under the Tulip Tree, I'm really excited to have a buddy read with you all. If you all want to read this with me, I think I will make this a last week vlog, so that way if anybody reads it throughout the month, I won't share it until the last week. But because it has tulip in the title, absolutely counts for a flower on the cover. If you can find a book with a different flower in the title, then go ahead and go for it. And then the last book that I have for that prompt is The Noble Servant by Melanie Dickerson, and I believe this one is a Goose Girl retelling, I believe. I could be mistaken about that, But Melanie Dickerson, all of her books, or most of her books, are fairy tale retellings, and I remember really enjoying this one. It is about a girl who has been looking forward to her wedding with I believe, the Duke's son, or the Duke, I can't remember. But she is on her way after a 2-year engagement. That's the word. A 2-year engagement, and she's on her way to the wedding when I believe her servant forces her to trade places with her. And so she is now the servant who is forced to take care of the geese. With new blooms comes new authors. So this is pretty much a reader choice. I can't really give you recommendations. Let me see if I can. Let's see. I probably will do like some more of these ahead of time as well. But like, if you've never read Sarah Sundin, Until Leaves Fall in Paris is so good. It's a World War II historical fiction mixed with a romance story, but it's not super heavy on the romance. It's definitely has to do with the story, and I love how the Lord really shines through their relationship, and it's just good. I love it so much. And yeah, this is like definitely a favorite of the year for me, if not the favorite. We shall see. But yes, this is an absolutely gorgeous story about a ballerina who buys a bookshop, and in order to help some Jewish people leave to go to the US before World War II really starts to happen. And so she helps with the resistance through her bookshop, and she meets a man who she thinks is kind of working for the Nazis. And it's a great historical fiction. I absolutely love this one so much. So if you've never read a Sarah Sundin, that's my recommendation for a new author for you. So there's that one. Let's see. I'm also going to talk about this one for another prompt, but if you've never read Misu Andrews before, oh, these books. She is probably my favorite Christian fiction author. She is a wonderful lady. I have talked with her a few times through email and stuff, and I believe, yes, this one is signed by her. Love Amid the Ashes, Job's life, and it really just brings his life to life, and just, it's so good. Like, you can feel the heartbreak of everything that went on in Job's life, and how the Lord let it happen and let Satan attack him so badly, but Job stayed faithful through everything, even though he had such a horrible life, and his wife just tells him to just give up and tell God you give up, but he wouldn't give up. He wouldn't tell, he wouldn't curse God, and because he loved him so much, and he knew that God was still in control even through all these horrible things. And it's such a good story. It's so heartbreaking, but it is so good. I really need to do a reread of this. It's so good. So those are my kind of new authors. If you've never read from any of those, there's some ideas for you. Okay, so April Showers Bring May Murders. So this is read a mystery or a thriller. And I will mention, of course, Ted Dekker. If you like shows like Criminal Minds and stuff, you might like The Boneman's Daughters or The Bride Collector. Those two are very good, and definitely close to like kind of a Criminal Minds show look to them or feel to them, because I believe it's told two-person point of view. There we go. That's what I was thinking of. Dual person point of view, where it is between, I believe, like the person who is trying to catch the serial killer, and then it's also in the point of view of the serial killer. I haven't read these in years, so don't quote me on that, but I do remember really liking both of these books. They're both really good books that were just very high intense books. Definitely, if you like those crime shows, you will love these. If you want more of a lighter one, Over the Line by Kelly Irvin. I read this with Becca over at Hicks Picks Books last month? Yes, or this month. I can't think today. Anyways, okay. So this one, Over the Line, it takes place in like kind of Texas and the north of Mexico. And it's just all about trying to stop this gun cartel from shipping guns into the US. And it was good. I gave it 3 stars, so it was pretty good. I'm definitely intrigued to try to read more of her books. So if you want more of there's also a little bit of romance, but it's more kind of like a second chance romance, I would say. So I really did like the ending and how it wrapped up. I think the ending was better wrapped up than the rest of the story, as the romance part really wasn't that great, but it's an okay read. My favorite Colleen Coble series is the Rock Harbor series. And it's my absolute favorite of hers that I've read so far. I've read quite a few of them, but this one is all about Bree, and she has a kind of a trained sniffing dog who finds either injured people or corpses or whatever in the woods, and it is a great series. I believe it's 4 or 5 books, but it's really, really good. I liked each of those books. I don't think I gave any of them less than 5 stars. They were all really, really good to me. And if you like more of a, almost like a feels real, like it really could happen, I feel like that's the type of book it is. Like, it shows kind of things happening on in her life, and, you know, there is romance in it, but it's not super duper heavy romance in it. I like Colleen Coble's books for that reason, is because they're not super romance heavy. So that series is my favorite if you've never read it. And the last one I'm going to talk about, which I don't have a copy of, but it is Snapshot by Liz Whale. This is more definitely a political heavy thriller. It was good, but because of the political heavy, I think I lowered my rating a little bit because I thought it was going to be more thriller than what it was. It's more of a mystery, and I really did enjoy it though. It's about this old photograph that is taken like 40 years ago, and how like a little white girl and a little black girl, and they take a photo together, but there is a shooting that happens right after that picture is taken, and the only witness may be that little black girl that was in that photo with his daughter. So it's kind of all about trying to solve like a 40-year-old crime, and it was good. I enjoyed it. Definitely good. It's also, I like how she brought a lot of like reality to the book, because the author is a reporter, but she has that background, and then her father was a FBI agent, I believe, who was involved with the Kennedy shooting, I believe. And so actually my favorite part was at the end when she kind of talked about the background of the story. I thought it was really interesting and really cool to learn about. Next prompt was spring cleaning. Read a book that has been on your TBR the longest. Again, I can't really share that with you because I don't know what book has been on your TBR the longest. So any book that you haven't read and it's been sitting on your shelves, or you've been wanting to read from the library for over 6 months, then pick one of those. Okay, the next prompt was, this is the last one. Okay, Spring Fever, read a romance book. So again, Over the Line would work for that because it's suspense and romance. Until Leaves Fall in Paris, that one would work too. So would that other one. Tacos for Two. So, and if you're not into big romance, Love Amid the Ashes is a romance book. I feel like it's a romance book that ties the love for God and then the love for Job, like how much Job loves the Lord. So if you want like a twist of a love story, like God loves us so much. Like it's a romantic love, how much he loves us so much and shows us every day. And even through the hardships, Job loved God through everything. And so this is an absolutely great pick for that. This series is really cute. I haven't read these in years, but the Royal Wedding series by Rachel Hawk, these new covers are gorgeous. I have book 1 and 2. I need 3. This girl is in a relationship with a man who she's loved for 12 years, but her boyfriend ends up breaking up with her. She scrambles to rebuild her life, and then there is a prince who on the last thing he expects to find on his American holiday to St. Simon's Island is the queen of his heart. So sounds good. I did read it. It was good. I just can't remember what it was about. That's the way my brain works. Like, if I haven't read a book in like over like 10 years, I'm probably not going to remember too much about it, even though I know I loved it. Like, that's why I have the books on my shelf, because I know I loved it. But anyway, so those are some romantic suggestions. You could literally look up on Google and just put like Christian fiction romance, and you will get a huge list of books, because that's what most Christian fiction is. There needs to be more thrillers, more middle grade would be nice in Christian fiction. I might do that sometime. I'm coming up with videos at the spur of the moment, but I might do like a Christian fiction middle grade video. Let me know if that'd be something you'd be interested in, me reading like a good 5 to 10 different Christian fiction middle grades, because I have one coming, which the publishers is sending me, which I'm like shocked and happy about, but I'm going to be reading that one. But I think that might be a great video to do. Oh, now I'm even more excited now. So I was just having a discussion with some of my friends how there's not a lot of Christian fiction middle grade, but I have a couple on my shelves right now, and one's coming. And I have 3 more that I put on hold at my library from a different library system, so I'll have to see those come in. A little bit of rambling right now, but we're all good. We're all good. We're coming up with videos while I'm filming. This is great. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe down below. Let me know some ideas that you have for some of these prompts. I'd love to hear what you're reading, and maybe it'll give me some ideas of maybe changing the books around. I have a giant pile of books that I want to get to next month. It's almost 20 books long, so I don't know if I will get to all of them or not. I think it would be a lot of fun to try to get to at least 10 to 15 of those books next month. I'm going to do a huge kind of Christian Fiction Readathon TBR and my full TBR for the month of May, kind of minus the books from my TBR game. Like, these are just extra books that I want to get to. Before I forget, don't turn off. I'm still here. Okay. Let me know if you like one of these 2 titles more, because I thought Christian Fictionathon might be kind of like a weird wording. Like, some people might not know what it's about if I just put that. That's why I put readathon in parentheses. But let me know if you like Christian Fictionathon better or spring into Christian fiction. So either one I'm happy with. This is just my first time ever doing a readathon. Really excited about it. So let me know which one you like better. I can't do a poll right now because I'm not at 500 subscribers yet. Almost. Subscribe. But I think it'd be really great to kind of see what title you like better for this readathon, because I'd really like to do it every year, hopefully. I mean, we don't know what God's plans are, but it'll be fun to do this at least once or twice a year. So I will see you all in the next video.